are going to learn about our topic number 2, History of C language. So let's move on. History of C language. So in this lecture we will learn about the C language and how C language came into existence. We will learn more and more things about the Dennis Ritchie, who was the inventor of the C language, how the different version came into the existence, into the market and spread all over the market. And in this lecture, we are going to learn about Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson. Dennis Ritchie get inspired by the Ken Thompson. So in the previous video, we have learned about the C language and its importance. In this video, we will learn about history of C language. So let's move on. History of C language. So we can say that C language is very basic and the mother language of any language, we can say, because of the Dennis Ritchie. So let's look at the history of this. So in 1917, the year might change in the different books, what I am following 1970s. So in 1970s, Dennis Ritchie develops a language named C language that was influenced from Ken Thompson. Ken Thompson was also an inventor, and he invented the language known as B language. So Ken Thompson interpreted a based language named B. The whole process taken place at AT&T Bell Laboratory in USA. So we can consider here is that Dennis Ritchie was the inventor of the C language and were inventor of the, we can say that he was an expert, guys, behind the scene of C language, because he knows that how to do it, because he was the main coder in that, who had a research team in it under its guidance. So in 1970, Dennis Ritchie develops a language that was C, and Dennis Ritchie was influenced from the Ken Thompson, who was also a developer, we can say, inventor, we can say, who developed the language known as B language. So Ken Thompson inspired Dennis Ritchie, and the whole process taken place at AT&T Bell Laboratories in USA. So overall, we can say that C was developed in the laboratory, AT&T Bell Laboratory in USA. We can consider here is that why B language not got more popularity. What was the demerit? So Dennis Ritchie founded that demerit and converted that things into the C language. So he makes wonderful language, wonderful programming language for the programmers, and that was C language. And that's why even today it is called as a basic language, basic of any language, we can say, and the mother language. So moving on the version of the C language, that how C language get its shape that we are using today now. So we can consider here two things, that Dennis Ritchie was the inventor of the C language and it was invented in the AT&T Bell Laboratories that was placed in the USA. So the first working version that came into the market, named as de facto standard for C, which is a compiler based language. First tested on the computer DEC PDP, second, which used Unix operating system. So here we can say that the first working version means after the development, after doing the programming in the C language, that came into the market, and that time it was named as a de facto standards. So when the first version came into the market, it was named as a de facto standards, which was a compiler based language. Means that all the compiling is going to be done by the compiler and tested on the computer DEC PDP second. So DEC PDP second was the computer at that time who tested the de facto standard version of C language and compiled that language. So and also DEC PDP 2 second uses Unix operating system. So de facto standard was compiled first time in the market with DEC PDP 2 computer which uses Unix operating system. So we can say that the first version has its merit also, demerit also. So when the demerit were found by the Ritchie, that was the Dennis Ritchie, he changes its version and launched the latest version. So let's look at that how this thing happened. Okay, this is the most important point to be considered. So after the product gained popularity rapidly in the USA, so you can say that why the product gained popularity. So in simple things, it is clear that C language had its features. Because of its features, it got its popularity and spread into the market of the USA. And after the popularity gain, so to maintain the quality of the product, the American government assigned tasks to ANSI committee in 1983 summer, which took 6 years, and in the beginning of 1989, the ANSI committee submitted a detailed report to the American government. So, American government assigns a committee for this to make the quality of the product, which were gaining popularity in the market. And the ANSI committee submitted a detailed report to the American government. And due to these reasons, ANSI were able to find the merit and demerit of that product. And the merit has a maximum range. Demerit were few demerits which were changed by the latest version launching. So Dennis Ritchie addressed to made some amendments that were the changes needed in the C language, and it took some weeks and was being passed by NC committee, which resulted in a market name as C89. So de facto standard version was changed into the latest version known as the C89 or NCC, which made product that was C popular worldwide as programming language, as powerful language. So this is how the version were changes by the Dennis Ritchie to gain more and more popularity, because the quality of the product should be maintained, and during that, if your quality is maintained, you can easily get to make popular. So you can gain popularity rapidly if your quality is good. This is how Ritchie were thinking and made some amendment in that and launches C89. So in 1990s, when the most of the programmers of the USA were involved in developing protocol to support network, Dennis Ritchie support network is still working on the version C89, and that was so amazing fact in the C language. That was the networking was supported on the version of C89, which was the second version we can say. To overcome all the drawbacks in the second version and succeeded in the year 1999 when the third or the latest version of C introduced in the market name as C99, and the third version of we can say the latest version of that time, which were launched in the year 1999, that was C99, which resolved all the drawbacks found in the second versions. So there was more and more changes were done, and due to this reason, C's become latest and advanced phased language of that time, which were the year in the 1999. So we can say that when Dennis Ritchie found some of the drawback in C89, he changes that drawbacks into merit and launched a new version. That was C99. That was the latest version. Then again he resolved all the drawbacks, and today we are using the latest version of the C language. So this is how C language get more popularity, and because of the quality maintenance. Because of the quality maintenance and its feature, C got more popularity in the USA. Why C got more popularity? Why came from some not changes its language? Because of this region, C's got more popularity. So Dennis Ritchie and the American government think about this language very seriously, and he makes a committee, ANSI committee, which were known as the American Standard. ANSI committee means American National Standard Institute, were made for quality maintenance of the C language and to finding the drawbacks of the C language. And when the drawbacks were found, the latest version was launched in the market, and that got more popularity in the market. And this is how the C language came into existence. So in the next video, we will learn more about the C language and its uniqueness. We are going to learn about the constraints. In the next video, we will learn its different types of the constraint, that is characters, strings and number constraints. So we can say thanks for watching. धन्यवाद.